Welcome to the Contrarians, and tonight we have yet another panel discussion. The topic tonight, our favorite B-sides. So we're looking at the flip sides of those 45s, and we're going to talk what are our favorites. So let's get to it. Welcome to the Contrarians, and tonight we have a great panel. We have the Parish of Rock, we've got the Elder of Rock, and we've got Off the Charts. We've got Dan from Off the Charts. So got a great panel here. Our topic tonight is, this is a good topic because there's a lot of great tracks that you could mention. We're going to talk about our favorite B-sides. Now we'll go an hour. Well, actually, I got a show at 8. So we'll go to 8. We'll go like 50 minutes, and we'll keep it loose. We'll just have a nice discussion, and we'll just go. I think we'll just go around one choice at a time. So let's do this. Let's go to the Parish, the Elder, Dan, and we'll just keep going around. So welcome, gentlemen. Nice to see you tonight. It's a hot one in the States. I don't know where everybody. Parish, is this hot over there in the UK?
It's very hot here at the moment.
But nice and cool here in Canada.
Oh, nice, wow. Good.
Sunny, but good temperature.
Elder, what about you?
Here in Florida, we're blazing in Florida.
Oh, I bet it's blazing down in Florida. But anyway, it's nice to see everybody here. We're just going to have a good discussion. Let's start out with the Parish of Rock. Parish.
Okay, well, I'm going to start by saying that I've always been a lover of singles. And if I look at my record collection from the 70s and early 80s, I've probably actually got more singles than I have albums. So I've always been a big collector. And I've always liked the B-side. I mean, a lot of people buy the single, only ever listen to the A-side, never listen to the B-side, but I've always been a big fan of the B-side. And what I've done is I've themed my choices. So I don't know how many we're going to get through, but each choice sort of matches a theme, if you like, for B-sides. So my first one I'm going for is B-sides that is heavier than the A-side. So as we all know, quite often the more commercial songs are released as the A-side, and that allows bands to release on the B-side songs that probably wouldn't be hits in their own right. And the choice I'm going to pick is not only a heavier song, but it was also a song that was never released on an album. Sorry, actually, that's not true. The studio version was never released on an album until about 2005 when they did a CD remix of it. And the song I'm picking is "Need a Lot of Loving" by Sweet, which is the B-side to Blockbuster. And Sweet were classic for having really heavy B-sides. And I got into Sweet because of the A-sides, but around this time, 73, I would have been 10, 11. And Sweet was probably my route into heavy rock music, really, by listening to those B-sides. Another one would have been Rock and Roll Disgrace, which was the B-side of Blockbuster, was another really heavy song, much heavier than the A-side. And the difference for Sweet was the A-sides were all written for them by Chin Chapman, but the B-sides were written by Sweet themselves. But as I say, both those two songs I actually mentioned never actually made it onto an album until they re-released Sweet and Fanny Adams as a remastered version. However, they do both appear on a live album, Live at the Rainbow 73, which is for a long time was the only place you could actually hear them on an album. But yeah, I think they're fantastic songs. They're much heavier. If I take Need a Lot of Loving, it almost sounds sort of like a Deep Purple cut, really. In the, as I say, in the heaviness, the guitar sound, etc. So that's my first choice. B-sides that are heavier than the A-side.
Excellent. All right, cool. All right, thanks, Parish. All right, let's throw it over to the Elder of Rock.
All right, well, kind of keeping with that theme with the B-side being heavier than the A-side. This is so the B-side to What About Love by Heart has a song on it called Heart of Darkness, which is a nice heavy song. It's like the heavier songs on that album, like The Wolf or Shell Shock or something. And just to do a Martin Popoff here, I'm going to show off my Nancy Wilson autograph. Ah, wait a minute. There you go. I got that. On a Passion Works tour, I met her at a radio station. She was very nice. So that's my first choice there.
Not even sure I've ever heard that track.
Yeah, it's never, as far as I know, it's never made it on any other compilation or anything like that. I don't know. So yeah, so it's just there, and it's a good song. I mean, I guess it's just not enough room on the album or something. So
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know if it ever. Yeah, I don't know. Was there ever a deluxe edition of that Heart album? I don't.
not that I know of. I'm not aware of any.
So. You think it would be on there? Well, it'd probably be on there if there was.
Might have been.
Yeah.
And that
Maybe
sweet song.
Well, it's gonna be like the 40th anniversary or something coming up pretty soon. Maybe they'll throw it on anniversary edition. Who knows?
Yeah, that's, you know what, Parish, just to go on top of what you were saying. Those sweet remasters are good because they have a lot of bonus tracks on there. And finally, those got like, some notoriety because they were on there. So
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the singles weren't on albums either, the A sides, so that they've appeared on the remastered, and then, as we say, those B sides did as well. So, yeah, they're definitely worth getting the remastered CD versions.
yeah, cool. All right, Dan, let's start over to you. What's your first choice?
Okay, so I went the route of the B-side was never on the album. That's how I went about it. So this one I'm cheating a little bit. Go with the Dio Hey Angel. This is off the Lock Up the Wolves, and the B-side was not on the cassette or the vinyl, which is Why Are They Watching Me? But it was on the CD. So, like I said, Grant now knows that I don't own a CD player anymore, and he gives me crap every time. But yeah, but yeah, Why Are They Watching Me? I love that song, and I would have taken. There's 4 songs I would have replaced. Why Are They Watching Me? From the Lock Up the Wolves. I don't even know why that was left off. It's such a good song. So for me, I'm going to go with Why Are They Watching Me by Dio from Lock Up the Wolves, but it is available on this CD version. There you go.
So when that originally came out on CD, was it on there?
Yeah, but I bought the cassette. Like, I was only buying cassette. This was literally Lock Up the Wolves was the second CD I ever bought in my life. And I was like, okay, the only reason I bought it was because of that bonus track.
Mm-hmm.
So it was on the cassette, the CD. I was like, oh, God, there's a bonus track. Here we go. And the good old CD bonus track from the 90s scam there, but whatever. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's how they got you.
I was going to say, when I ever go through the used bins, I rarely ever see any Dio used CDs or that CD. Really?
Well, if you see it, it's got the bonus track on it. So
yeah. All right, cool. Good choice. All right, Parish, what you got?
Okay, my next theme is live tracks as B-sides. So certainly in the late, say, 70s and early 80s in the UK, they quite often put on a B-side a live track that didn't appear on any other record. And it was no doubt to entice people like me that had already bought the album and probably wouldn't have bought the single if it didn't have a live track on the back, particularly if it was a live track of a concert that I've been to myself. So it was a good gimmick. I think it was a good trick from the record label. And the one I'm going to go with is Thin Lizzy. So the A side is Chinatown, but on the B side is a live version of Sugar Blues, which is live from Cork in 1980. So the single would have come out just after the album. The song is on the album. But I think the live version's much better. It's just got so much atmosphere. It almost sounds like a Rory Gallagher track live. I don't think it does on the record, but it does live. And yeah, I just think it's a much better version than the single version. The album version, the studio version. A couple of other examples of live tracks. Thin Lizzy then did it again with Kill on the Loose, but because it'd been such a success for them on Chinatown, they actually released it with a live EP. So you got 3 B-sides, a B, C, and D side that were live tracks, including Chinatown Live and Gotta Give It Up Live, which again are really good. And of course, back then I hadn't heard Chinatown as a live track, although it did appear later on Live Lizzie. So and then Blackfoot was another example. Dry County came out. That also had Live at Donington. Train as the B-side. But again, it was done as a bonus CD. Bonus EP with it. So as I say, it seems to be a bit of a gimmick, but I've got lots of singles which have got live B-sides that you can't get anywhere else, and I think they're really good. Really like them. But my pick of the bunch, as I say, is Sugar Blues by Thin Lizzy, the B-side of Chinatown.
Yeah, probably in the UK you get a lot more of that than in the States. You know, it's like in Japan. They always, all those CDs, they always jam bonus tracks on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they just give them to you because I think that the licensing or the laws are different, and you just can't do that here in the States. But in Japan, man, and plus they have to make them stand out more. You know, they want you to buy that. We've got bonus tracks, like 4 bonus tracks to something. You know, here we're talking CDs, but CDs are still big in Japan.
Yeah.
It hasn't lost any of its luster at all. Different world. All right, cool. Parish, awesome pick. All right, let's throw it over to the Elder of Rock.
Well, the of rocks must be on the same wavelength, because my next example, I guess I got 2 examples then I can put up here, but one is the B-side to Heading Out to the Highway by Judas Priest. It's got live versions of Rock Forever and Hellbent for Leather. Now those were later put on the expanded edition of Unleashed in the East. And then Touch Too Much. The B-side is Live Wire and Shot Down in Flames. And those, of course, were from the Let There Be Rock movie. And that came out on the Bonfire box set. So,
all right, cool.
Good
choices, gentlemen. All right, Dan, throwing it over to you.
Well, I'm not on the same wavelength as Parish and Elder. By the way, Elder, I love your shirt. I was like smirking. I was like, I finally figured it out. While love it.
Thank you, man.
Okay,
wait a minute. Shania,
I was hoping somebody get kicked out of.
Is that a Shania Twain shirt?
It says Shania Seidel Twain. Well, it's not an official Shania shirt.
I can't imagine it would be.
But actually, I got this because there's a radio show, and one of the people on the radio show had a hat with this on it, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'll look it up." And then I saw they had a shirt. So, and on the back it says, "Man, I feel like a Pepsi." So.
I love it. I need to get that now.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, just look up there, you'll find it. Yeah.
There must be a suicidal tendencies Shania Twain mash up on YouTube somewhere, I reckon.
Of all those 2, you'd never mash up those 2. I never thought of that, but
they mash up everything nowadays, don't they?
I know.
Yeah, well, everything's related, kinda.
I'm definitely going to have a look.
Kinda. All right. Going again with my unreleased tracks, and this one's a little odd. You name your album a certain name, and you have a track of that album, but it's not on the album. So I'm going to go with Dokken Dream Warriors, and the bonus track, or the B-side, would be Back for the Attack, which is not on the album. It is on the Rock Candy CD reissues, but it's not on the new box set. It's not on the vinyls. It's not on the cassette. It's not on the original CD. So that's why I have this, and it's a friggin' good song too. I was like, why are you naming the album Back for the Attack but not put on the song? That one always confused me. And it's got Paris is Burning also on it there. But like I said, mostly you get it for the B-side bonus track Back for the Attack off the Dream Warriors. I have it on cassette also, then I got it on vinyl. Just why not, right? So there you go. Back for the Attack for Dokken. Good B-side.
Oh, excellent. All right. Parish, we're back to you already.
Okay, well, my next one does align with Dan. So my next theme are songs that don't appear on albums. And as far as I know, the one I've picked hasn't appeared on any album, even on remasters. But I'm sure somebody in the comments will correct me. And I'm going with Iron Maiden. The A side was Running Free, so it was their very first single back in 1980, and the B side is called Burning Ambition. So it didn't appear on the first album. I'm not aware it's appeared on anything else. It's actually a really good song. Apparently, it's either the very first or one of the very first songs that Steve Harris ever wrote when he was a teenager. It's very different to typical Maiden. You'd say it kind of sounds more like UFO or even Thin Lizzy in its styling. Paul Di'Anno's vocals is really good. It actually shows off that he's got a really good vocal, more than maybe the growl that appeared on the main album. And the other curiosity about it is that the drummer isn't Clive Burr, but a guy called Doug Sampson, which I've never heard of. So it was obviously an outtake that they stuck on as a B-side, but I think it's a really good song. It's very commercial rock. As I say, dual guitar could almost be UFO. So that's my choice of songs that don't appear on any album.
That's a good one.
That is good.
Okay.
More on that later, by the way.
Yeah. Burning Ambition is on this Eddie box, this Iron Maiden box set.
I knew I'd get corrected.
I was thinking, I was like, I wonder if it was. Yeah, it's on the Eddie's archives.
I stopped listening to Maiden in the late 80s, but I've still got. I bought a lot of the remastered of the earlier albums, and it didn't appear on any of those, so I just assumed it hadn't been picked.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, at least we were able to figure out if it is on the box set.
What do you think of it, Elder?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it is definitely a good track. Yeah, I can see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Everything about it's a good track, and Paul's vocals are very good on it. Yeah, and very cool.
All right. Excellent. Hey, anybody watching this, you might want to check it out. If you know that track, hey, leave a comment down below. We'd like to hear it. So, all right, we'll keep it moving. Thanks, Parish. Good choice. All right, Elder, you're up.
All right, this next one did make it onto a CD version, but it wasn't available for a long time. This is the B-side of Bark at the Moon, song called One Up the B-side. Appropriately titled, I guess, One Up the B-side. I don't
think I've ever heard that, Elder.
It made it onto Bark at the Moon reissue. I think the last one, not the first one, but the last one they did, and they did make it up and made it on that one. And it's a good song. Good, good track. Pretty cool. Weird lyrics though. I mean, it's because the chorus is one up the B side, and it's like, damn, it's like, what's he talking about now? What's he meaning? One up the earth side, or so. I don't know. But it's a cool song. It's very kind of Jake's playing some slide guitar in it and stuff, and so it's pretty cool.
I mean, does it feel like a throwaway when you listen to it?
Yeah, I don't know if it would have really fit on the album too well. The actual original album, it would have kind of been. It would have kind of weird song maybe to conclude on it.
We'll have to check it out.
And I'm not sure if this is an import single either. I can't remember because some of these I got so long ago.
Well, see, I have that album, and the lettering is blue, so it's I think it's a Holland pressing, and I have Spiders something.
Yeah, Spiders. Yeah, that's another one that did make it on a reissue.
Instead of another song, I forget which one there.
Is that a 7-inch single that you're holding?
Me? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And it does say on this little thing here that I get wherever I got it at, it says import, I think. So maybe it is an import. So
I wonder if that was out here domestically. Like in the States, was it the B-side here? I don't know. Like we said, a lot of those in the UK or in different countries, they always have different bonus tracks that might not ever come out here. You never know. All right, cool. Good choice. All right, Dan, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to go and piggyback on the Parish of Rock here. So I took Maiden, all this. I'll show you the I got 2 CDs here, so I took out. So they come like this here. They had the normal CD.
Yeah.
Plus, you had the bonus tracks, and they did from the first album up until Fear of the Dark. So they did. So I'm not gonna pick. Well, I will pick there, but I'm gonna go with Power Slave and Somewhere in Time bonus tracks. I can't even tell you which B-side it's from, but I'm just gonna say Maiden has made some great B-sides, especially covers, great original covers. I love it when you do covers that are you don't even know. You have to go look them up there, and these are no exception here. I think on the first one was Burning Ambition. There's Invasion also off of Killers. I forget the whole thing. But yeah, look at Maiden's discography. I don't know if these are still... I don't think they're still available. But yeah, they come with... Oh, and I'll show you the... There you go, like that there.
Yeah.
So I said to myself, okay, do I keep my CDs? Yes. But I'm not going to start going hunting for every single on vinyl for Maiden. There's way too much. But to me, the best B-sides, the best bang for your buck would be the ones on Power Slave and Somewhere in Time. This one has 4 bonus tracks. This one has 2, if not 3. Okay, sorry, 4, which one of them has Number of the Beast live. And again, not to diss Parish and Elder. I'm not a big B-side live song fan there. That's just me there. I like just something new that I've never heard. And yeah, this one has the famous mission from Airy where...
Oh, yeah, of course.
Secretly... secretly recording the drummer arguing with, I think, Steve Harris or whatever there. But all in all, I'm just going to say Iron Maiden, their B-sides are A++. Like, they do a great job. Whether the album was good or not, the B-sides, you always knew that the B-sides would be great. And there you go. So I'm just putting Iron Maiden and all the B-sides from the first album. And I'm actually going to go all the way to... X Factor, but they're not. X Factor was never released on this type of. But X Factor had My Generation, Doctor from UFO, and 3 unreleased tracks from the X Factor, as if it wasn't long enough already. But anyway, that's another. We've talked about this, right, Grant, before?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway,
X
Factor.
Iron Maiden from the first album all the way to Fear the Dark are available on CD, and they all have great bonus tracks on them. But for me, would be the ones from Power Slave and Somewhere in Time. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, those ones with the...
Go ahead, Elder.
Okay, those ones at the double, those aren't available like new anymore. So those...
No,
I'm
this
so mad.
Like, this whatever year X Factor came out, because that's the last picture they have. It was then, because they released something later on.
Then they totally reissued stuff with like computer ROM, CD-ROM, computer stuff on it.
Yeah, that I didn't get that.
And those, I know I'm so mad because those did sound a little better. They were remastered a little bit better, but I'm so mad that I didn't keep Killers, because that had, as far as I know, the only CD version of Made in Japan.
Okay, I didn't get that there, but yeah.
Yeah, that's like I got rid of that, and it's like it's not even on the Eddie's Archives thing here. It's like so it's like I don't know if it ever came out on CD as an import anywhere or anything, but I can never find it anywhere else.
Yeah, those remasters remind me of, remember when Queen brought out they've remastered the catalog like twice since the original ones.
I got all those 91 ones.
But they did 2 CD sets where they had, bonus tracks on the second CD. And then they don't make those anymore. Those are out of print. I mean, you can still get them. It's not like they're expensive or anything, but I mean, if you're a completist, you might need those. And the other thing is, I don't know, how many times has Iron Maiden, at least on CD digitally, have they been remastered? Original 80 CDs, which are fine.
They did some. Then they did some with like a cardboard. They did those. They did that. What Dan has, and then they have.
I'm not sure this is remastered though.
What year is that? Can you tell what year that came out?
I think it was remastered, but then they put out other versions that sound a little bit better than those.
Yeah.
Then they did like something like a few years later that was like had computer. You put in your computer and you'll see some videos or something. And now they just redid. They did it not so long ago where it's like a cardboard gatefold.
I think I saw those. Yeah.
Well, I know. You know,
1995, Grant, by the way.
Oh, 95. So I know as far as Iron Maiden goes, those original 80s CDs that came out, the original ones, those aren't brick wall. There's dynamic range. You know, they sound really good. And then I know, at least reading on the Steve Hoffman sites, that those are what you really want. If you need bonus tracks, get the remasters for the bonus tracks, but keep those original CDs because they sound most, analog to some degree, and they're not all jacked up.
This is the latest edition, I think, of Iron Maiden that this came out in 2018, and this has like, this stuff in it and booklet.
Does it come with the bonus tracks or not?
No, this doesn't have any bonus tracks.
Yeah, isn't that weird that they?
Yeah,
it's like the Queen catalog. They had those ones with the bonus tracks. Now you can't get it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'd love for them to release. There is one, but it's unofficial, but a collection of all the B-sides on one album.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That's my wish.
Yeah, they did. That's the only thing. Yeah, they have but it's in the box set. They have a CD best of the B-sides in here.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have Mission from Mary on it, so you might still not be getting. I still don't have everything. But yeah.
But I'd have most.
But even on that box set, they never just did an extra release and put out the B-sides. You have to get the box.
Yeah, you have to get the box set. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Get that. Yeah, not a separate CD or anything, as far as I know.
Yeah. Sorry, Dan. You never know. They may put it out, though.
Well, maybe if you're watching this, put out the B-sides on one album.
Yes.
Exactly.
All of them. Everyone.
All right. So I'm looking 6:30. We can go around one more time. Parish, what you got? You got something else for us?
Okay, yeah, my next one is B-sides that have a different version of a song that appear elsewhere. And the one I'm going to pick is The Jam, and the song is Smither Jones. Smithers Jones was the B-side to When You're Young, and then was later a different version was put on Setting Suns. Now, the version most people would know is the version on Setting Suns that's got a big orchestral arrangement to it, is driven along by a violin. But the B-side, the original version that's on, as I say, the B-side to When You're Young is actually guitar and bass driven and is much more punky sounding, much more new wavy, much more aggressive, and to me is the much better version. So even though most people would know the version from Setting Suns, I think the earlier version that appeared on the B-side is better. And then the other example I have is Def Leppard. The B-side of the original Wasted single was a version of Hello America, which is a very stripped down, sort of heavier version than the one that was in the next single was actually Hello America, but that version is the version that's off the album On Through the Nights and sounds very different. And I have to say, I don't like that version at all. The B-side to Wasted, I think, is a much better version, much more. It almost sounds live, actually. It's got that kind of aggression to it. And I think they smooth the edges over and put the big sort of chorus introduction to the song, trying to probably appeal more to the American market. But yeah, the B-side, Hello America, B-side to Wasted would be my second choice of B-sides which have a different version of a song to the one that most people would know.
Yeah, good choice. All right, Elder, what you got? You got something else?
All right. Well, once again, I think you have like a Def Leppard shirt on there, don't you, Parish?
I do. I've got
All right. Well, this is going to be Def Leppard again. So here we go again. We'll be on the same wavelength. This is from the Hysteria, the B-side. It's a song called Right Into the Sun. I think it eventually made it on to not Vault. The other one that
It
had
was,
kind of rarities on it. That looked
yeah,
like
With the skull there?
like the skull. Yeah, yeah. I think it made it onto that one. But that's a cool. It's a cool, nice, heavy song. It's like it's heavier than anything that I think was on Hysteria. I don't know if this was what exactly it was left over from. But so yeah, what's this say? Oh, it says this is a song that appeared on our first EP. We rewrote part of it and recorded it in the summer of '87. It says on here. So I guess maybe it's a re-recording of a song they did on an earlier album.
Wasn't that called Get Your Rocks Off, that EP, or?
Probably was, yeah.
Yeah, the original, their very first record, which they released independently, was an EP that had Get Your Rocks Off. I've got that actually. I haven't got the original independent version, but I've got the Vertigo re-release. I'm trying to remember if that's on it. I don't remember, to be perfectly honest. I'll have to go and check afterwards if that was on it. But if it is, it's a much different version, I have to say.
Yeah.
Because as you say, the version I'm familiar with is the one that was on that Rarities and B-Sides album that you mentioned. That I can't for the life of me recall what that's called either. But
yeah. I think the one called Vault was their singles.
The Vault was the greatest hits.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
I don't remember the title either.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Might have been retro. Was it retroactive?
Retroactive. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It had like a horrible cover.
Tonight.
Though,
yes, thank you.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, it had a Victorian lady sat at a dressing table, but it kind of looked like a skull as well.
When you look at it far away, it looks like a skull. Yeah.
It always reminded me like of a Blue Oyster Cult album cover for some reason. Like one of those later ones. I don't know why. It just does.
It reminds me of Alice Cooper Data. Same concept.
Yeah.
If you go far away, you'll like, it's a
and when you guys did the doppelganger thing on the Contrarians, that there was an Aerosmith album that looked like that as well. I don't know which Aerosmith.
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm drawing a blank.
It might have been a greatest hits Aerosmith too. I don't know, but it had to have been because I don't think any.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I can't remember. There is something though. Someone in the comments will know. Let us know in the comments. Come on, save us. We don't know it all. All right, Paris, that was you, right?
That was me. Yeah.
That was me.
Oh, sorry, it was the Elder.
That was
Man,
Elder, yeah.
well, we were on a little tangent, so
It's cool.
Dan, come on, give me something.
All right, I'm just gonna add to the Maiden thing. Another good band that does this is Halloween. There's a lot of good B-sides.
You're right.
I have them digitally. My friend has them all. When I say all, he's got them all.
Nice.
But my choice will be, and I bought these just for a band I used to love. Now I just like. The Darkness have the CD. There's one, if not 3 songs per each.
Mm-hmm.
So I got them all. The Christmas one.
Christmas one's great.
Yeah, it's not my favorite of the B. Well, I'll get to the B-sides in a few there. Anyway, so I got them all here. But the one that actually, the Best of Me was a good one off of, but it was Bareback. Which one was, there we go. It was on, this was the B-side to Growing on Me. I got to see them live in Montreal on this tour, the first tour, and they start the show with a B-side that is not available on the album. So it's an instrumental, but it's a fun instrumental, a great intro instrumental, and I was like, oh my God, I was actually the only one who knew it in our gang, maybe not the whole arena. But I thought it was interesting where they start off a show with a song that's not on the album, but it's on a CD single. But I have all their singles. It's hard to choose. Again, like Planning Permission was a good one too. The Christmas one had Love You 5 Times, which, I mean, some of them are okay.
5 times, fine. That's fine.
It's okay. It's good. I'll say it's good. But you're allowed to But some are just whatever. But I just love the fact that, well, my wallet doesn't, but I love the fact that just you go on searching for unknown songs. And I think Grant said it earlier that the UK was huge for doing this here. Well, they're all UK. Well, Halloween, Iron Maiden, The Darkness, it's all Europe. So,
yeah, those darkness ones are quite often almost throwaways, aren't they? I mean, they're good. And they're good fun, but I don't think you can see why they didn't make an album, I think, in most cases.
Let's just say out of the 10, let's say there's 10 of those B-side songs, I would say 2 or 3 are great, which is one of the songs that I just mentioned there. The rest is good stuff, you know? Probably as good as anything off of Hotcakes, if you ask me there.
I always like their B-sides. I have no problem.
I searched for them for a reason, so... Yeah, The Darkness for me. I'm going to go with the one from Growing on Me with Bareback. Sure, it's an instrumental, but it's a great way to start a show. I don't know if they still do it like that, but I got to see that band live. Like, it was unheard. Like, it was rare for me to see a band on the rise. Like, all the bands or concerts I saw were bands that were near the end of their... My first concert was 1989, so do the math. And I love hair metal, so you do the math as to what era. But anyway, yeah, it was rare to see a band on the rise at that time there. So there you go.
The Darkness, that first Christmas single though,
that was good. That was fun.
That's my favorite. Believe it or not,
that's have another
favorite
one.
Darkness track. I love that.
I don't know if I've ever heard that, a Christmas song.
And that was a Bob Ezrin production. Now, why Bob never... That's the only thing Bob ever did with them, right?
I think so.
God, I like what Bob brought. Now, the Roy, To Hell and Back, that's Roy Thomas Baker. I think he did a fine job, but man, I liked what Bob Ezrin brought to The Darkness. Because think of all those productions Bob has done, Pink Floyd and Destroyer. I could see, Bob working with The Darkness. And
I did not even know that. I just checked, yeah.
I wonder if that came about because Justin Hawkins was doing some writing for Alice Cooper, and I wonder if actually that was the connection that got the production.
I bet you that's it, Parish. But I like what he did, and I wish there was more. I wish the next. Well, I do like Roy Thomas Baker. I have no problem with that. But I just would have liked to seen what would have come out had they kept going with Bob Ezrin. That's all.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that until you mentioned it. I was like, wow, you're right. You actually just did the ones. Because the B-side's not produced by Bob Ezrin.
Yeah, I don't know if that's from the first album.
It's not. It was just released as a single at the time.
No, it was released purely as a single. Yeah.
But that B side, where was it? Is there
the B side is "I Love You 5 Times." Christmas Time is the A side, actually, and that's all that seems to be produced by. My God, this is because "I Love You 5 Times" is produced by Senzo.
So the first album. First album
In the Darkness, that's who Bob Ezrin produced just the one song.
Such great stuff. I love that. Well, Parish and I've talked about The Darkness. I love The Darkness. I love The Darkness.
Yeah, they're cool.
Oh my God. So
it went like this, then it went like this, then they're slowly coming back. I got so upset when. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, they took that break. You remember the band broke up?
Oh, I was so upset. I was so mad about that.
So, Dan, have you ever heard Hot Leg?
Yes, I have that. Okay. I have.
Great.
I have a B-side of that. I have the CD single.
I love Hot Leg.
Hot Leg. I love Stone Gods more, though.
Okay.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there were like two offshoot bands when they broke up, right?
Yeah. And it kind of showed that both needed the other.
Yeah, but both worth having. If you're a
Oh
Darkness
yeah,
fan,
yeah.
oh my God, yeah, great stuff. All right, I guess we've
Cool,
done
cool,
it,
cool.
ladies and gentlemen.
Cool.
Hopefully, we can turn you on some of these B-sides, and we'd like to hear from your comments in the
I just
comment
have one,
section.
a couple
Go
honorable
ahead,
mentions.
Elder, go ahead.
The Flying High Again album, I'm sorry, single, the has a B-side of I Don't Know Live. Now, when that came out, there was no Ozzy Randy live. This letter made it on tribute. It was also on a live radio broadcast I recorded off the radio of Ozzy. So there's that one, and then
I had that as a kid,
yeah,
and I thought it said "live." Anyway, that's me being French. But anyway, go on.
and
There
then
you
just
go.
the other one real quick.
Sure.
Leader of the Pack. Not now. The B-side of this is I Wanna Rock, but it has the video intro of Mark
Oh,
McCaff in the classroom that has the video intro. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's
That's the
good.
only reason I bought that single.
yeah. I was
There
like,
you
I
go.
don't, and I like to collect.
Yeah, I didn't know those existed. I guess I was aware of the Ozzy B-side.
I knew about the B side one. I've heard it, but I got a really quick ones here. I'll go really quick there.
Sure.
Great White, Once Bitten has the fun song Wasted Rock
Rock
Ranger.
Ranger. I was in a band. We did that song.
Yeah, that's a fun song.
Yeah. Yeah.
I bought that in the States. My mom was so upset because she thought this was the band. He goes, how can you put ladies that are not in the band on the cover, blah blah blah. Wasp, Mean Man. To me, the best version of Locomotive Breath ever covered was by Wasp. Better than Halloween did it. And yeah, I gotta bring Winger just for you, Grant.
I'm good with Winger. I'm good.
All I Ever Wanted, never released. They have so many B-sides that I wished they would put it as one again into a box set or a full-length CD there, or LP or whatever there. So there you go. Those are my honorable mentions.
I don't know enough about Winger to make a comment. They came pretty late in the whole
Yeah,
quote unquote hair metal era, and
yeah.
I don't know how hair metal they were, but
I
they
will
were
defend
grouped
them
into
till the
that.
day I die.
All right.
I've tried listening to them. At least their older stuff. Not, I know I've heard some new stuff that sounds good, but just that older stuff, I don't know what it is. When I think there's a good riff or something, all of a sudden these like some kind of keyboard comes in or something,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just like I just for some reason I just can't get it. I just can't get into it. But I'm not. But you know, obviously they're successful, and I know they're good musicians, so I'm not slagging them out.
That latest album's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I've heard some of that
Seven's
latest
great.
album.
Yeah,
It sounds
yeah,
great.
yeah, it's really good. Okay, my couple of I've got three
Sure.
honourable mentions, I think. The first one is the B-side to Mary of the Fourth Form by Boomtown Rats. It's a song called Do the Rat. Um, it never appeared on any album. The bizarre thing was it always appeared and they always played it live. It's just one of these weird things, never on an album. But most fans of the Boomtown Rats would know the song Do the Rat. The next one kind of links back to the discussion on Iron Maiden, really. So this was a song that Iron Maiden covered, or at least the A side was a song Iron Maiden covered, which was "Women in Uniform," and the original version was by the Skyhooks. But the better song, I think, is the B side, which is called Boogie, which is a really heavy. It almost. I mean, most people say Airborne sounds like. So I know the B side to the Skyhooks version is Boogie, not
Wow.
the Iron Maiden one.
Now that isn't on the box set, so there you go.
Yeah, and it's probably Motorhead crossed with AC/DC is probably the best way to describe it. So really good song. I'm surprised nobody's ever covered it actually because I think it's a really good song. Next one was the A side was "I Want You to Want Me" by Cheap Trick, but I always much preferred the B side, which was "Clock Strikes 10." At least that was the B side over here in the UK, and I thought that was a much better song. I do like "I Want You to Want Me," but I think "Clock Strikes 10" is particularly the live version is a fantastic song. So those are my 3 honourable mentions.
Excellent. All right. Gentlemen, let's wrap this up. What a nice discussion. Hopefully, we've turned you on to some things, and we'd like to hear from you. What are your favorite B-sides? So leave that in the chat. If you'd like to come on these shows, we'd love to have you. We always like new blood, and we always like more people here to talk music. So we also have a Patreon if you'd like to join that. A lot of great topics on there. You get the shows in advance, etc. Check it out. The link is down below. We also have a Ko-fi. Buy us a pint or a cup of coffee. We would love that. And we have merchandise. Get yourself a look. Look at Dan wearing the colors.
Yeah.
Get yourself a shirt. Don't suffer. Get your shirt. And but until then, always stuff coming out on the Contrarians. Almost, I try to keep up on it. So I want to thank the panel, Parish, the Elder, and Dan from Off the Charts. We'll see you, gentlemen, on the next one. Everybody have a good weekend if we don't see you, and keep it clean. We'll see you.